Eggman was doing some experiments as he wanted to build the perfect machine to beat Sonic. But as he was doing this, an explosion would happen in his lab, as suddenly he would wake up and find the sky to be red, the buildings around him strange, and demons all around him. Eggman was no stranger to anthropomorphic characters, but these ones seemed weird. He couldn't place his finger on it, as then Eggman would look down into a puddle and see his skin was no longer human-like. It was now completely pale. His mustache was a blood red, and his eyes were like diamonds. As he was fat like a seal. As he looked around, his entire body was fat and chubby. As then he got mad and said, "Really now? That's not, ugh!" As he would go up to someone and say, "Where the heck am I? Why do I look like this?" As one of the imps would laugh and say, "You're a sinner. You died." Eggman would be shocked. "No, that can't be true. He has to still be alive. He can't be down here. No, that's impossible." As Eggman was furious, upset. He couldn't believe this. He perished in his own lab. It wasn't Sonic. It wasn't Shadow. He did this to himself, and that's what enraged him more. The greatest genius destroyed himself. As then he would start to walk across the city, as he wanted to prove that he was great. He wanted to prove that he was strong, and he wanted to prove that he could outlast anyone. But in this fat, blubbery, walrus-like form, everyone would laugh at him, so he had to cover himself up. So Eggman would fall back and begin to work on a suit. Eggman would be hiding away in his underground lair, where he made robots. These robots were tough, but they wouldn't be strong enough. He needed an example of pure engineering down here, and he needed someone who knew the powers of the people down here. Eggman was able to observe some powers, but a lot was unknown. If someone had a lot of experience down here, even if they're an oaf, they could help him greatly. As he was watching the news, he would see the turf war with Sir Pentious. As after Sir Pentious was torn away by Alistair, he would respawn, as suddenly Eggman would walk up to him. "I have use of you." Eggman would slowly approach Sir Pentious and say, "I have great use for you. I think me and you can make great robots together, great machines." Sir Pentious would say, "Robots? Huh, I make destruction and weapons. Why would I need a robot when I have my precious egg boys? What are those?" As the egg boys would come up, Eggman would say, "That's pathetic," as he snapped his fingers. As suddenly, robots would start to walk around him. As he would say, "Who are you?" They call me Eggman. "Are you the father of the egg boys?" "What? No. Father?" As the eggs would surround him. "I'm not their father. Just follow me and call me Dr. Robotnik." "Why'd you tell me to call you Eggman?" "Because it was a name making fun of me, but I kind of liked it after a while. Just ignore it." As them and Dr. Robotnik would go down and start to work together. As Dr. Robotnik and Sir Pentious would work on machines, they would start to learn more about each other. Dr. Robotnik was angry at Sir Pentious because he was a buffoon, an idiot. But he was used to working with those people, and he actually had some good qualities. Over time, he would find things he liked about him, but in the beginning, they didn't get along quite well. But they offered new rooms of research. As Sir Pentious would give him information about hell, Dr. Robotnik would be able to build things that could threaten even overlords, as eventually he would finish his first project. I call it the Overlord Hunter. If it's destroyed, it would use all the information to do better. Let's start off with a weak one that's strong but not too strong. As then, Sir Pentious would say, "Who do you have in mind?" You know a bunch of overlords here. Can you point me towards one of them?" Sir Pentious would say, "Certainly." As Sir Pentious would continue to work with Eggman, eventually they would build something very special. A specialized robot that can change forms. This was made to counteract any overlord, as he was going to sick it on Rosie to see how powerful it was. As Rosie was drinking tea, suddenly a robot would burst through the door. As the robot would take her form, as Rosie would say, "What is this?" Robot Rosie would say, "Programming. Annihilate Rosie. Take her place." As suddenly missiles would appear from it as it would shoot at Rosie. Rosie would be able to teleport away just in time and kick the other Rosie as they had both fight. The real one had magic, the other one had science. As neither of them were used to their fighting style, it was a pretty close fight, until the robot one started to adapt. You see, this robot had the ability to scan mid-fight and to adapt to what was going on. The real Rosie would be able to destroy its arm, But the robot would use all of its power and all of its strength to use an angelic punch straight to Rosie's face, getting rid of her. As this caused it to use all its strength, it would fall down defeated. As Dr. Robotnik would say, a tie. As he would make sure this robot would be swept under the rug, Dr. Robotnik would test many overlords. Some would win, some would lose. And they would talk about these strange robots when no one knows who is really making them. As Dr. Robotnik was staying down working with Sir Pentious. Eventually, one day, Sir Pentious would be approached by Vox, just like in canon. Since Vox didn't really know Sir Pentious was working with Dr. Eggman had anything to do with those robots, he would be suspicious of Sir Pentious. At least that's what Sir Pentious thought. In actuality, Vox just wanted to ask him to spy on the hotel. But Sir Pentious got nervous. He said, hey, Vox. As Vox would walk up to him. Vox was actually used to people being scared of him, so he wasn't really that shocked. As he started to shake, he would start to laugh and say, aw, listen, I want you to do me a special favor. As Sir Pentious would say, yeah, spy on that hotel for me, okay? As he walked out. As then Sir Pentious would go to Dr. Eggman and he would say, what hotel? And didn't really know about the hotel. He's been so obsessed with overlords and taking them out and trying to replace them that he didn't really know much about it. As Sir Pentious would tell him about it, Eggman would say, I'll make a robot to be disguised as you and act as a double agent, spying on Vox and the hotel. And we could turn them against each other and then destroy it. Sir Pentious would say, but Sherry might go there, since Angel's there, so... Oh, don't tell me you actually like her. Come on now, Sir Pentious. Sir Pentious would then think about it, as he would nod, as then he would leave, but he knew he couldn't do this. He couldn't go through with it. So he'd go to the hotel to tell on him, when suddenly, Dr. Eggman would appear in front of him and say, I figured you would betray me. He would say, it's not like that, it's I. Robots would hold him down and say, you know, I found the ability to turn a person into a robot. I haven't used it since I've came here, but I think you'll be the perfect test subject. More loyal, as he would say, no, no, no! As suddenly, he would turn Sir Pentious into a robot. He would keep his human brain, so I guess it would be more cyborg, but they call him robot in the game, so I'm just going to call him a robot. Anyway, as Sir Pentious will now be Pentious Bot. As Pentious Bot would serve Dr. Robotnik, he would then laugh. As he would start to kidnap more people of hell. He would make sure there were no one special, no one important, so no one would know. But he would start to build an army, as he was getting ready to try to take over the city. As he just needed the right time to strike, the right time to attack. Eggman would start to replace overlords and other people. His plan was to wait for the next exorcist, as he knew Charlie would battle them. As this was going on, he could then launch mass attacks, taking over massive parts of hell without anyone noticing, because they'd all be in quarantine anyway from the exorcist. Then, after a few years, he would build up even more and basically take over hell in secret. It was genius, as Dr. Eggman was always about being flashy. It was always about showing off his power, but that never worked out. And he learned that the only way for him to win was to win in secret, hiding in the shadows, secretly controlling everything. As all this was going on, we cut to the exorcism. As everyone was starting the battle, the V's would watch it on their TV, as suddenly the power would go out. Fox would be extremely confused, as he would say, what was that? As then he got up to look around. As Vox was looking around, so would Val and Velvet, when suddenly waves of robots would attack them. Vox would try to shoot electricity to turn them off, but they were immune to that, as they all started to the attack. As Vox, Val, and Velvet all stood strong and fought back, there was simply too many of them, as waves and waves came, and some were starting to adapt their fighting style. Some had electricity, some had fire, and some could teleport. All these robots had different abilities, as eventually they would fall and turn into robots themselves. As Dr. Eggman would start to take out Overlord after Overlord, Imp, Hellhounds, you name it, he took it out and replaced it with a robot, secretly, as he hid in the shadows, trying to control the Pride Ring. Dr. Eggman would become like a legend that everyone would be scared of, and some people would think, are they a robot? Is their friend a robot? Is their loved one a robot? Well, they could never really know. That's going to leave things out. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share with all your friends. I hope you all enjoyed this video, because I enjoyed making it. I love Eggman. He's one of my favorite villains, honestly. My favorite version of him is from Sonic Boom, but Sonic Underground was also a really good version. Like, that was dark, especially for back then. Oh my god, I can't believe that was a kid's show. That was just, wow. I mean, there's a lot of light-hearted moments, but like the theme is just, oh my god, just yeah. And there's that one Sonic cartoon with the robot chicken, dude. I only seen like 2 episodes of that. I don't even know what's going on through that. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I like Sonic Boom. That was my favorite. Sonic Underground was definitely a great show, though. It was very serious, very out there. But like, people like, I don't know. When you think of Sonic, what do you like best? The shows, the movies, or the games? And now a lot of people are gonna say the games, but the shows are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. They had some great Sonic shows. And I've only ever played Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. I haven't played, like, all the Sonic games, you know what I mean? And, like, there was also a Sonic creepypasta. There's a lot of stuff with Sonic, which makes sense, because Sonic is very old. But I feel like, I don't know, there hasn't been a lot of new Sonic content for a long time, you know what I mean? Sonic was just kind of out there, kind of left to dry. And then the movie came out, and then bam! Sonic fans rejoice. Sonic is up there on the big screen, has his own trilogy, you know? That's just insane. That after all this time of Sonic slowly being... I mean, he wasn't totally forgotten. There was some remasters and some things there, but like, come on. Who's been playing Sonic nowadays? When was the last time you played a Sonic game? Be honest. So yeah, the movie really did save Sonic. It saves the whole franchise, which is great, And the whole trilogy is about to be quadruple-Z, or what is it called when there's 4 of something? I don't know. Whatever you call that. Quadruple-Z or something. Like its own series. It's going to be very cool. Maybe they should have made a show. I feel like... Didn't Knuckles have his own show or something? There's something with Knuckles. I can't remember. Does Knuckles have his own show? I think he does. Or am I just imagining this? I don't know. Hope you all enjoyed your day, because I enjoyed mine. I love you all so much. Hope you have a great day, an amazing night, happy whatever day it is for you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. You mean the world to me. Peace out.